Verdict as to count one. We, the jury, find as to count one of the charge. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that during the commission of the offense, the defendant personally used a firearm? Yes. So say we all, dated the 16th day of August, 2024.
Does either side wish to poll the jurors to be polled?
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, please poll the jurors by number only.
Welcome back to Crime Bulletin. Susan Lorincz, 60, was found guilty of manslaughter by a jury in Ocala, Florida on Friday after shooting her neighbor through a locked front door last year. The 6-person jury, consisting of 4 white women and 2 white males, deliberated for 2.5 hours after a week-long trial before returning with a guilty verdict.
Tonight, the woman accused of killing her neighbor, shooting the mother of 4 right through her front door in front of her children, appearing before a Florida judge.
Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Susan Lorincz.
Susan Lorincz, seen in a green suicide prevention vest in the Marion County Jail, listed as a suicide risk, according to the Sheriff's Department. Police say on Friday, Lorincz confronted 35-year-old Ajika A.J. Owens' children for playing in this field near her residence. Lorincz allegedly throwing an iPad and skates at the children. When Owens knocked at Lorinc's apartment, her 10-year-old son standing by her side, police say the neighbor fired a single shot through the locked front door, striking her in the chest. For days, Owens' family called for Lorinc's arrest. Florida has a stand your ground law that permits the use of deadly force if there is a presumption of fear. The sheriff saying the law does not apply in this case. Lorincz charged with manslaughter.
This situation is a prime example of when it was not justified. It was simply a killing.
Because Lorincz is white and her neighbor, Ajike A.J. Owens, is Black and a mother of 4 small children, as well as the fact that the Marion County Sheriff's Office took several days to arrest Lorincz, the case sparked questions about the administration of justice as it relates to race.
How is it right to take a life and wrong to take a stand?
People came together outside the courthouse in Ocala calling for justice.
Justice for AJ! Justice for AJ!
Because for some, news that Susan Lorincz wouldn't face a murder charge didn't seem like justice at all.
It's not fair. It's not right at all.
No, it's not justice. It's not justice at all. It's not justice for AJ. It's not justice for her family. It's not justice for nobody.
Owens' family and their attorneys had called for a second-degree murder charge, but State Attorney Bill Gladson said they didn't have enough evidence to get a conviction on that charge. An attorney for Owens' family said the news is a disappointment.
All the evidence pointed to a murder too. At this time, the family will stay vigilant and move forward in hopes of a conviction.
For those gathered outside the courthouse Monday, the charge of manslaughter and not murder meant something.
Yeah, it sends a message to the people of Ocala that the justice system in Ocala don't care about you.
You have to have a penalty. You have to have adequate consequences, or it's going to be something that continues to happen.
They were looking into the possibility that the shooting might have been justifiable according to Florida's Stand Your Ground statute. While arguing their final points on Friday, the prosecution and defense centered on the question of whether Lorincz had a reasonable fear for her safety when she opened fire on Owens that evening of June 2nd, 2023.
What was the address of the emergency?
1662 Southwest 167th Place. Oh my God, this lady just tried to break down my door. I shot through the door. Oh my God.
Okay, repeat that address for me to make sure I have it correct.
1662 Southwest 107th Place.
Okay, what is your name?
Susan Lorincz. They were trying to come in my house.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. Calm down.
Oh my God.
You said someone tried to break down your door, is that correct?
Yes, the woman was screaming and yelling and she was trying to break down my door and she was...
Okay, it was a female?
Yes. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my gun and I shot at the door. She was like, "You're going to get me." Something, a white car in front of her house. It's all garbage.
You said a white Honda?
Yes. And then she has a new Acura.
Okay.
Her boys were here earlier. They keep leaving his garbage all around the house.
Okay.
And then I told them to take the crap away, get the fuck out of here.
Do you know where the boyfriend is now?
I'm sorry?
Do you know where the boyfriend is now?
No.
Okay.
I'm not screaming outside now.
In the aftermath of a dispute with her children, Lorincz was confronted by Owens at her apartment door in the Quail Run complex. She pounded on the door, demanding that she come outside. A conflict had been going on for quite some time in the neighborhood. Lorincz griped at the kids over and over again, saying that they were too noisy, littered the area near her house, and were on her property. Lorincz was known to have a history of using racial slurs with the children, according to witnesses who spoke with authorities.
The field is a public field. We live in an apartment complex. Nobody owns anything. We all lease. And even the field is big, so, it's really big. Even when they play out there, they don't play on the side where her apartment is. They play on the other side to avoid all this confusion, but she comes out anyways. Anytime the kids are out there, she's coming outside. She antagonizes the kids. She calls them names, slaves, racial slurs, all kinds of stuff, all of the children.
Did she say something to your children?
Yes, she says stuff to everybody's children. She's told my daughter that she was going to be raped if she didn't get off of her property.
She always calls her property. And she always be so racist. And they're playing over. Bastards. And then the she tells us and stuff. And she calls us an N-word.
In a total of 14 clips dating back to February 2022, I watched deputies continuously respond to this neighborhood because of complaints made by Lorincz.
Kids have been out of control. They're screaming, yelling, and the kids have been
She repeatedly told deputies neighborhood kids bully her.
I don't want to be intimidated by them screaming and yelling at me, telling me I'm a calling me Karen. They're calling me names.
In April, Marion County deputies addressed her concerns about children playing in the parking lot.
They need to be trespassed. They don't let me go.
So what I'm looking at, where they're at, you can't trespass anybody from that location. The issue is that the parking lot is a common area.
Mid-conversation, a man walks into the frame near her porch.
Can I talk to you for a second before you get done?
He's trespassing. He's trespassing.
You came over to come ask us a question.
The deputies engaged the neighbor away from her residence.
I was trying to reason with her one day because we were all playing here. The kids, everything jumped over.
All right, let's go. And she's like, hey, you know what? One day you guys are going to die.
And I'm like, and that's when I'm like, whoa.
Lorincz interrupted their conversation.
And apparently they're going to match their pay.
I'm getting too much feedback on the phone from the dog. Can you please go someplace where he's not barking? Please, I'm getting too much feedback. I can't hear right now. Dog. Captain.
It's a dog. You can't stop the dog from barking.
Yeah, but too much feedback. Can you please at least go
So, yeah, that's, tell me, that's,
all right, well, you have a good one. Apparently we can't stay here and have a conversation.
However, testimony to support these claims was not included in the trial. According to Assistant Public Defender Amanda Sizemore, Lorincz was terrified that Owens was going to force her way into her home that night. On behalf of the 5th Judicial Circuit's Chief of Homicide Prosecution, Assistant State Attorney Rich Buxman contended that Lorincz was furious, not scared, and that there was no evidence to suggest that Owens was attempting to gain entry into Lorinc's home. Buxman also said the threat, assuming you can even call somebody banging on a door and yelling a threat, was a threat that was coming from the opposite side of a closed, locked, deadbolted metal door. It was not immediate. It was not imminent. It was not about to happen. There was no threat. Here are some brief statements made by Owen's mother, Pamela Diaz.
This has been a long journey to get to this day, to get to this verdict. I am very pleased with the jury, the prosecution, the verdict of the guilty. I find some peace with that verdict. I feel that although my daughter is gone forever, the children's mom is gone forever, but we've achieved some justice for Ajika. My heart is a little lighter, and we're now on the path of true healing.
The family's attorney, Anthony Thomas, stated that sentencing is the next priority. He also urged that Circuit Judge Robert Hodges should impose the maximum penalty possible. A maximum of 30 years in jail may be imposed based on the charges Lorincz has been convicted of. Please like, follow, and subscribe for updates on sentencing in this trial.